Hello, I'm Ninja Zombie Zero, and welcome back to Liberal Crime Squad. This is future me, like a week or so in the future. And last time we were doing various things. So, we're just doing this live. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I know I have a gist of what we're doing. So, I believe we're going to the labor camp first, the educators, and well, I wanted to show off more of the world, the outskirts, now that we have a car. I figured, hey, let's have fun, show off the world while we kill time. And I try to go to the educators at my car uniform equipped. I pick the lock and I find out that, well, it's not an actual uniform. Meanwhile, I'm just talking to lab techs in the meantime to train up my science skill. It's used in a couple things, nuclear power, and a few others that don't really come to mind. I don't really have any notes or my wiki dot page open to check. So just chatting with various things, trying to get more maps, including the secretary at the CEO castle. We will get to more interesting things, and I will leave a TLT, too long didn't read thing on the description, since there's no audible clicking noises from my keyboard. I'm just playing this recording by ear. So I'll go into tailoring. I'm just trying to kill time because I have all these texts under my thumb. So I figured I'd try to find out what the outfit is to get in, and since I haven't persuaded any of these guys since I have all six of my persuasion things with the lab techs, I figured, hey, maybe a security uniform. No, that doesn't work. Decently get spotted walking into there and triggering the alarm and having all sorts of fun stuff. And I realized, oh, that's later. But we managed to seduce the CEO castle, so I figured, hey, let's go there next. At least I think that's the gist of it. Meanwhile, we got rid of Rosie Hong and we're going to send her off to liberate a car, as you say. Even though I know it won't end that well since she doesn't have any security. I figured, hey, just go back to making stuff. Not sure what I'm going to pick, but it's something. I think at this point I'm trying to figure out what outfit would you need to get into the educator camp. Quote unquote educator. Re-education center / conservative prison. So very then just make death squad uniform. Have some fun with some liberal card theft. She does have a security level 1, so she could in theory get into the car and potentially get away scot-free, but just not working. I end up holding down A to just fast forward a bit. I think even if I told her to break the window because her strength is so low, it's not gonna work. So I'll continue to hold down the A button and we finally get spotted by a death squad officer. So if I was jailed, I figured in this fight. She ended up nearly dying there, but I probably should have just let her run. You need really decent jail level to get away from the death squad officers, like around 10 or so to be reliable enough to potentially work. And of course, if you fail, you're just gonna get either punched, shot, or just executed because they're death squad officers. So meanwhile, I go back again. I figured let's try to talk to a couple of these guys. Maybe I'll see what their uniform is that they use. Since our science, I think, is where I want it to be. There's no other skills I want to pick up by persuasion. Since science and religion are the hardest to get up reliably. There is business, but you can just train that more easily through selling legal stuff or illegal if that's your thing. So I chat to a couple of these guys, I book it. They have syringe for some reason, they also have psychology, which makes sense because they're re-educating the population that got incarcerated and sent to prison. 10 wisdom, decent charisma, but like I said, it's really risky recruiting conservatives even if you do manage to persuade them. And I don't think I see at first, but I see lab coats. I'm not sure if I end up putting the two dots together. I was just looking at their stats and looking at my own stats. But they have decent psychology, they have a variety of weapons, decent social skills, but it's just a whole high wisdom. And I want to ask first aid. Sort of wish I did have the wiki doc because I know there's some useful information I could probably go over, but I decided to go to the Ministry of Peace, which is the conservative army base. So I was figuring, hey, let's just get a map of the place. I don't intend to actually commit political activism there. It's just I wasn't thinking that straight at the time. But I was thinking maybe I could persuade one of these guys. Then I realized they probably will have either really high agility or really high dodge / martial arts. And if you do take your time, there's going to be really nasty surprises as you try to leave. Army base, gigantic slab of metal and mortar, well, not mortar rounds, like tank rounds. It won't end well. It's a bad idea all around. 10 agility, that one had nice computer skills. Just looking at that's the educator. I figured I'd just talk to him one more time just in case, because I still didn't connect the dots on that. And I said, this time I'll go to corporate HQ. Try to find a moderate or someone to seduce so I can get a map of the place, which I luckily do right away. Ministry of Peace and the corporate HQ and the CEO castle have guard dogs, as well as the Ministry of Love, which is the FBI headquarters. So I can be talking to these guys. And I think this is where I realized what outfit I need for the educator camp. And I realized, wait, this guy belongs to the White House. He's not a CEO lawyer. Then by chance I managed to just straight up seduce him. So now if I wish I have a map of the White House, but that's not really relevant. And going up there is a death trap anyway. So back to C corporate HQ I go to find like a secretary or a janitor of some sort. feel like it right away and I just broke it. Get some backup just in case, since the manager would have to work at the corporate HQ. Send our lawyer to liberate a car, which he has no chance of doing, and yeah, that's what officers. I'm sure someone will probably keep track of how many I send off to meet their fate via botched carjacking. And for a magic guy, has a lot of agility. Like 9.3.11 is pretty decent, not great. Well, pretty average, but your stats do go up as you level up, so. Then I think the soldiers would have lower stats once you recruit them, since they're pretty connected to conservatism. But I think here's where I see, hey, these guys have lab coats. Maybe that's the idea. And straight away, just seduced the secretary. So now we have a map of the educator camp and a map to corporate HQ. Point out the two areas and test out that lab coat theory. And I realize I don't have a map of the place, but this guy does work. That doesn't matter. The prison is a place you wouldn't really go to exactly. I forget if the educators can make you gain wisdom, or if they or what the reinforcements are. I'm pretty sure it's the police. We quickly lose our two guys. And executed Judge Dredd style. And so why I lost the recording, I'm not really sure like how I lost audio for this part but not the other two. I think at the time I didn't realize my microphone was turned off. But let's look at my stats. I put on a suit. I think I head back to CEO Castle, Corporate HQ to show off the map. So all the way in the back of Corporate HQ, the exclamation mark that quickly showed up, which I think I go to since there's no guard dogs. I think I do. Is a safe, which has various goodies. And of course, if you pick it, you also will antagonize the conservatives on site. These reinforcements are mercenaries. So very stealthily go through with our 15 stealth and 18 disguise are pretty safe, but there's a safe. And I just book it. I don't really want to steal anything because we have more than enough money to feed the LCS fund. I forget if it's right here where I just break off communication with these guys. I think I do. Anyway, I go back to the Ministry of Peace. I figure, hey, let's try to not the soldiers. Maybe the military police will have less agility, less dodge. If not the Navy SEALs, all those guys will. Those guys that are the elites of the area. I think the only reason. Oh yeah, the guard dog, right? Yeah, if you have really high heart, you can turn these guys liberal and just talk to them. Just don't seduce them because that will really creep them out and turn them back into conservative, and they'll eat your face off or something. Well, not eat your face off, but trigger the alarm. And in a place like a military base, that's a really poor life decision. Quickly check how many people I could chat to for the day. I try Navy SEAL and he just straight up rejects me. Like I said, even with 18 persuasion, you still have a decent chance of just getting rejected. Case in point. And I guess what I'm thinking about, I can pull up. Oh wait, no, I can't. I guess I'll talk about the next session, but like, what skills are influenced by which attributes? Human heart has a purpose, but not wisdom. Wisdom is just like how conservative you are, and how likely you'll turn if your heart is pretty low compared to it. 12 agility for the dog. Supreme Court. I forget if I mentioned it, but the Supreme Court is for life, so unlike the House and the Senate, if you're not familiar with U.S. politics, they're for life, and you really can't do anything about what they do since they can just resign and someone else can take their place. Unlike the House and the Senate, which are every 2 years at the end of October, I think. But anyway, here's CEO Castle. All the way in the back, which I luckily point out, is the CEO himself, who's a really high-level conservative. Who's a little bit resistant to seduction. Behind him is a safe, which has his own personal stuff. It's very dangerous to engage a CEO because he can easily turn one of your liberals into a conservative. As well as the docs as well that can spot you easily as well. So I think at this point I go to the Ministry of Law, which is the FBI quarters. Now I have the map. I want to actually recruit someone here. At least I think I do. The outfit of choice here, of course, is the black suit / dress. But the exclamation point on the map is the supercomputer, and yeah, I think at this point I realized there's guard dogs. I should just run. I wasn't gonna go over there and show it off. I believe that requires a computer check, a really high computer check, and if you succeed or fail, is a serious crime, which will probably warrant the higher military forces to intervene. But what I'm looking for are agents now. Like I say, even with 18 persuasion, the agents will not willingly come along for the ride. But I am interested in them. They have a variety of useful skills. They have dodge, psychology, and they also have fairly decent weapon skills. So they're better versions of educators. They're just really hard to persuade. They're also more dangerous too. So I look around, try to find an agent by himself. Avoid any large groups so I don't trigger them, be suspicious and raise the alarm. Stick to agents that are by themselves or like in groups with not so dangerous people. I think I was a janitor just for a seduction check and just get out of dodge. Yeah, 6 dodge. Variety of weapon skills, but what I'm looking for is a person with high dodge, psychology, and maybe a good weapon skill like martial arts or rifle. Quite skilled in clubs. These have been to a club or two, which have psychology skill as well. But you can see why these guys are so dangerous. They're highly skilled. I wouldn't say they're like Agent Smith good, but they're pretty dangerous compared to other conservatives. That's why I was a little bit intimidated when I saw these guys in the first session. I was just wandering about. Just get out of dodge from that. Slowly thinning out what I want to see. I think I got rid of like 2 or 3 agents that I wasn't really interested in. I pick up 1, I run away from the guard dog. I'm probably gonna chat it to that one by itself and just walk. Where's the fun in that? Moderate janitor. I am seducing the agent by accident instead of talking to him, but that works too. Quick look at my thing. I figure I just talk to all these agents at once since they're not really doing anything. The mathematician, the military officer, doing his own thing, like moderate secretary. But like I said, what I'm looking for is dodge, psychology, and like a weapon skill of some sort. If they have decent stats, so much the better, since once I recruit them, they're going to be slightly weaker than advertised. You were directed by a fair amount of agents, except for that one. And there's our 6, and we are out. And that guy is too hard. Amusing. Has a decent driving skill, but no dodge, so that guy is not coming with us. But dodge is psychology what I'm looking for. Dodge is hard to train without dying, obviously, since and an arch-conservative dystopian nightmare. People are more readily armed. Semi-automatic weapons, full automatic weapons like the MP5, M16, and other deadly weapons, of course. Decent psychology, but the dodge feels sort of I mean, he has rifles too, but I don't think I'd pick up this guy. Although 17 wisdom E. Think Sattler. Decent driving, psychology, martial arts. The name amuses me. There's a shotgun, but no skill in it, which is a bit unusual. I think it was maybe at this point I was realizing what skill I value, which I, at least what past me was realizing. Right left Fisher, pretty high psychology skill. But psychology and dodge, unless I want to splurge a ton of money on university courses, it's not really that valuable to do that when I could just recruit an agent that has those skills and I could just teach them to other liberals. So I find more agents to fill out the couple I gave the axe to. Because there could only be one agent, or possibly none if said agent also rejects me. I'd imagine it's harder to recruit him in a scientist than it is an agent. Considering how fast they just ran away as soon as I chatted to them. But there's our 6. And we're out before we realized that we should have just seduced someone to get some more skill in it. Decent dodge, but no psychology of any kind, so that's a pass. Scum dick. Once again, guy has no dodge, so that's a pass. Discordia is good, but not as good dodge as he could have. True psychology and martial arts, but no dodge. Whoever does is less than 7. There's Fisher again, 8 martial arts, 7 dodge. And driving as well, it's just pretty nice. I figured that guy would at least that I would try to hold on to. The other guys I'm just trying to see if I want them or not, but I think for Fisher I definitely want to hold on to them since I might recruit him. The other 2 are just there for long for a ride if I want them or not. Just back up in case I manage to alienate him. But for him I spent the 50 bucks to try to hold on to him since it's a boost in persuasion, and luckily he held on to the end and I just decided to recruit him. Just constantly my decision. I have an M16, which is also pretty useful. And there we go, there's our agent. I look over his stats to see what else he has since to contemplate my decision. But there's Renaissance Fisher. Has 10 agility. His charisma is pretty bad. But luckily his wisdom's only 8, so he shouldn't turn that easily. Has a point in computer security, has some writing, already has some stealth, and really good at martial arts. No teaching, unfortunately, but he's going to be really well versed in it by the time we're through. Unfortunately, that charisma means that he's not really going to be that effective at getting other liberals to join him, even if we juice him up. Because that 3 charisma really hurts, especially your disguise skill. But his agility is good enough that he might not need the disguise skill. I give him a black suit since somehow we didn't have one. Yeah, it's a weird bug, honestly, but yeah. Took away his weapon since he doesn't really need the weapon at this point. Just contemplate my choices. I'm trying to figure out how to do said thing. There we go. You did it past me. You did the thing. Yeah, but all in all, a successful little session 2. Hopefully the next session or 2 are more action-packed and just skill grinding and grabbing more maps and running into places we can go to besides the White House, which is, like I said, a death trap to play around in. There's Secret Service, there's other high-level conservatives, and the Oval Office, of course. Probably definitely more dangerous than CEO Castle. But maybe we'll go to it one session. I look at my stats. 7 law, 5 science. I have some writing, I have some teaching, courtesy of the starting choices I made. I think question 10 gives you some of that, along with straight sense. Hopefully, the founding member can avoid gaining wisdom or a criminal record as he tries to seduce other targets that will be of note. But that's going to be for next session and for current me to do. So, Ninja Zombie Zero, and, well, I'll see you next session.